Nick Cannon Mornings, it's that time for Close Conversations, and I'm honored to have a close conversation with a true star. I mean, not only has my man debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200 chart, but has one of the #1 streaming albums debuting at 80 million streams, like 155 million worldwide, doing it big. One of the biggest hip-hop debuts of the year. The one and only Toronto born, right? Born? I can say born. Producer, turn rapper, my man Nav in the building. Now, Nav, I mean, it's an honor, dog, because I've been watching your movement, and I feel like I want to give you the opportunity not only to have a close conversation, but to kind of just talk about your journey a little bit, man, because a lot of people don't know all of the work and the effort that you put into to have all those big numbers and the success that you have right now. So, I mean, I just want to hear a little bit about your story, man, like just based off of, like, how did it all start for you?
At a young age, like when I was in high school, I started trying to learn how to make beats.
What was the first piece of equipment you was making your beats on?
I bought a USB keyboard.
Oh, wow.
Piano, and I just started with Reason.
Okay.
Like on the PC that we had at the crib.
Oh,
like,
that's
the
dope.
one the family used, you know?
Right.
And it was a really slow learning curve back then because there was like not a lot of beat makers, not a lot of YouTube videos, you know what I mean? That's like
on
10
Reason
years ago,
too. You
13
took it
years
there,
ago.
yeah.
And then one thing led to another, but I was making beats and just quitting, and then going back to making beats, and then stopping music, doing other stuff, and because there was no real window to get success at that time in Toronto.
Right.
Like Drake hadn't like really popped off yet.
Right.
At that when I was like in high school, but yeah. So once I went back to it one more time, I came back as an artist, and here I am.
So, and then I always tell people, like, even that I work with too, like, to tap into your artistry. And when I say artistry, I mean the efforts in your craft, not just being, the artist or the showman, but really knowing how to make beats and write songs. Do you feel like that is what kind of separated you from a lot of the other things that are going on in Toronto and your community, the fact that you really had that artistry?
Yeah, because I even recorded people for like 2-3 years, like every day. Yeah, at like a studio, like a home studio.
So you damn near engineering for other artists.
I would make the beat and then I record them on the beat, and I like try to charge them for everything.
Wow,
you know what I mean?
Get into the
bag
bag
as much as I could.
You doing the artwork and everything.
Yeah, but they weren't like successful artists that make money off music. These are like guys that make money off other shit. You know what I'm saying? So
I know what you're talking about.
Penny pinchers. They'll spend money on jewelry, but not a beat.
Right.
It just didn't make sense.
Right. So the EXO family, like you jumped in. How did that connection happen?
When I was coming up as an artist, I was talking to Derek Wise. He's one half of 88 Glam.
Yeah.
On like DMs and stuff, and then he just hit me one day and said, "Cash wants your number." And when that happened, I was kind of like shocked because I never really thought of EXO as an option because they don't really sign anybody at the time.
Yeah.
Like, The Weeknd literally never signed anybody until he signed me.
Yeah.
So that was just crazy to me.
Now, what I find dope about the EXO movement and from Cash and Style and everybody got it going on over there, it seems like it's a multicultural dimension over there where it ain't just and I feel like that's even the vibe in Toronto to where it's not really about being a certain way. You can be who you are and almost embrace being different and not the same ethnicity or not the same, like, is it just a melting pot over there, and is that organic or is that done, like, is that strategic?
Yeah, like where I grew up, like we don't really see color as a thing, you know?
Right.
It's more like there's like urban and then there's like, the white world,
then so it's clean cut.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's like Cash is Persian, I'm Indian, Abel's Ethiopian, Sal's Lebanese, like we're all literally different races. Lamar.
Y'all are like the UN of music.
Not even for a second do I ever look at them and be like, oh, like you're Persian, you're this. That's like secondary to us because it's just a Canadian thing. We grew up with like so many different races.
I find that out in Canada, man. Like America is a great melting pot, but when you go to Canada, that's why I say Canada has some of the most beautiful women in the world
100%.
Because they have the best mixtures.
Yep.
You'll find somebody that's like half Ethiopian, half Filipino with a little
Jamaican,
Lebanese.
Chinese.
Yeah, and you
crazy.
like, yo, I've never even seen this, but I feel like that it's truly a melting pot up there. And being from Canada, other than Drake, why do you feel like the music is just taking off in such a way?
I don't know. I'm not really sure. It's just, he did what he did, and then Abel did what he did,
and just opened the door.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the formula was or anything. It just happened.
It's just a whole new genre. Like I even feel like there's a sound that comes from up north. What would you describe your sound as, and does it fit into that Canadian vibe?
I say like my songs are more like melody driven when
Right.
it comes to like the beats and production, and then my monotone ass voice.
But that's you say that, but a lot of people don't understand. Tone is almost everything.
Yeah.
Tone is what breaks through. Tone is what's catchy to you, and I feel like obviously Abel has mastered that. Drake has mastered that. You mastered that. And I feel like it's kind of a Toronto, Canada thing. Is that really what allows the hits to come forth, or is there something else? Is there another secret sauce?
It's also like we started off as like a blank like slate, where
Right.
like we're taking in from everybody else, like America, whatever's popping. We're studying the thing.
Do you ever get any hate from that aspect of like
From where though?
Yeah, like from the States or even or any other parts of the world? It's like, oh yeah.
I mean, I think the first people who bust the door open, they took all the heat first. And then,
right.
Not really. I never.
Because I remember
experienced that.
people used to talk like this about the Drakes and the Weekends, like, oh, they from like almost that like Canada was soft.
Exactly.
Yeah, like they almost felt it like, I mean, because that's always been the jokes of like, Canada's really friendly and syrupy and all of that type of
Yeah, but not to.
But if you ever been to Toronto, it gets down up
I'm
there.
not trying to promote anything violence, but you guys can check the news. What's going on up there. That shit's crazy. Unfortunately, it's crazy.
Nah, it's real up there. But the fact that your music, speaking of being real, is so authentic to who you are and you're very unapologetic. Where does that come from? Is that your pen game, or is that you just kind of living your life on these records?
I mean, I just speak what's going on in the moment. I mean, I really think I'm a producer and engineer first, and I just do my best as I can as an artist.
Right. So, and speaking of being a producer, is when going into the studio, tapping into that, like, yo, I'm going to make this a hit for. It could be anybody. Are you going into like, yo, this is for me. This is something I'm doing. Like, are you thinking as yourself as an artist first, or as a producer first?
My problem is like if I go to sit down and make beats, like if I like the first beat that I'm working on, I'll start recording on it. So
Right.
I haven't been sending out beats or producing for other people.
How long has it been?
I'd say like a whole year or something.
Wow. Now, is that lucrative? Because I know the producers get to the bag. Like, dude, that's easier money, right?
You get to the bag, but if you produce your own stuff and you're an artist that's doing well, then you get more percentage of your own shit. So it's like
Facts.
It's like a double whammy. You know what I mean?
So tell me, producer or artist, which one's easier?
Easier?
Yeah.
Producer.
Yeah, because you don't got to do all of this.
You could hide. You can get fat if you want. You can do whatever you want.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
Now, well, there's a lot of fat artists that are very successful.
I'm just saying, like, I gotta think about like what I eat
Khaled
now, all
does
that.
his thing very well. He's slimming down now, but there's a lot. The Fat Boys, there's a lot of fat people. They played off of the fat thing.
Yeah.
Rick Ross is slim now. He's
I like how I'm not in this category right now.
Yeah,
This is
you're
great.
definitely
I'm doing
not
well.
in this.
All right,
Yeah,
perfect.
but it's interesting though that you say that because interviews, the artist thing. I mean, like you got the glasses on. Like, is this something that you comfortable with, or something you don't really rock with, or would you rather be in the studio?
I'm cool with it now. I mean, it took a while to adjust because my life was so like one way until I was like 25 years old.
Right.
And I thought there was no shot of me doing anything like this.
Right.
And then all of a sudden,
And now
like
you're
this.
a superstar.
It took me like 3 years to tune in, and like here I am now, and I'm like chilling. And, like I wouldn't have it any other way.
So, being the fact that you're just thrown into this and it wasn't necessarily the plan, what's the worst part about being an artist, or the fame and all of that?
The worst part is when you want to just go by yourself, like to like Target or something, or the gas station with like your hoodie on. You know what I mean? You go through it too, bro. You know what I mean? It's like anybody with fame.
Yeah, I just
You can't
like,
even
I
go
don't
get
care.
a backwood without somebody bothering you. You know what I mean? Like that's when you want to be like, you know. I want to go somewhere by myself and I can't. It's really annoying, but it's cool.
But that comes in waves. You know what I mean? Like it's that moment where you like, yo, I feel like I can't go anywhere. But then there's times where you like, yo, I just be chilling out there. I was at my grandmother's house this weekend, taking out the trash with the kids.
For sure.
And like it's just there's no thing. But then obviously when you go into certain environments, there's time to turn it on. Then it gets a little heavy. But it's part of the life that we signed up for.
Exactly.
What's the best part?
Money.
But you can, like you said, you can get to that bag as a producer.
Yeah.
Like, what's the best part about
the fame? I'd say, like, you know, like I was using an example of the day. I'm like, fame is shitty when you're trying to go get, like, you know, backwards at the store, but it's good when you're at Best Buy.
Yeah, you
like
can
back
get
in
to
the day,
front.
you'd be at Best Buy, you try to look for somebody and
nobody's helping you.
Oh, I'm busy with somebody. Sorry, sir. That he's trying to find somebody. You can't find him. Now they be chasing me around.
Now they rushing to help.
Yes, that's an advantage right there for sure.
All right, so I mean, back to this because I'm fascinated by your skill set. What's the last big record you worked on that wasn't yours?
I don't know. Melissa? What you want? Yeah. What is that? What you want? Belly and Evil. Oh yeah. I made the beat for that. I forgot I did.
He got so many hits that he forgets who he makes beats for. Now this is what I was kind of leading into that question because the process of making songs nowadays are a little different. Like back in the days, with like whether it's like a Timbaland was a producer or even a Pharrell, it was kind of like they did their thing. And then, like, it was, even personally, I remember having to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to work with Pharrell and the Neptunes. But now it feels like the song kind of speaks for itself and becomes something else. So, like, you might just make a beat, you forget about it, send it off, a couple writers jump on it, then you look up and it's a number one hit. You're like, oh, I forgot I did that beat. Mm-hmm. Is that the new process of music, or is it those times where like, yo, you sit down with a new artist and they sit and build with you for a week and you guys cook up? Like, I feel like that doesn't really happen anymore.
I feel like there's way more volume of artists and songs now and producers. It's like way more. That's why it cost so much to work with Timbaland, because there was no Metro.
Max.
There was no Nav, Southside. There was none of those. Now there's like so many producers and they're all getting their little 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 bags. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just...
And that's to explain it to people, too, who don't really understand. Like, the producer game is obviously you guys make the beat, and then that's where it all originates. So that's where the value is. That's where it starts. And then the writers jump on it. Mm-hmm. And some producers actually write as well, like I'm pretty sure, like yourself. But then they find the artists to then get on it. So ultimately, the song could end up being pretty expensive, but back in the day, you work with a Timbaland, you work with Diddy, anybody, their camps kind of operated, and you give the money to them and they disperse it from there. So working with XO and even your own situation, is it a close-knit thing to where you guys only make records for each other, or is it?
No, I mean, we're all kind of like workhorses in a way. We're like, you know, that to me, that's the old way of doing things. It's like, not saying it's wrong. It still works for a lot of people, a lot of big artists, but having a writer, a producer, engineer, like I cover like 4 of those jobs, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, same with Abel. Like, Abel, I mean, I feel like that's the new wave. Like, artists got to do more than one thing. A producer, if you're a producer and you make beats, somebody likes your beat, if you can't record them right there on the spot,
like
you're losing your money.
You're doing the engineering and everything.
Yeah, so if you want to buy a beat from me for $20,000 and you catch a vibe right now, I can record you right now.
Right now.
And get another bag.
Get the engineer fee.
I get the song, everything, keep it going, you know? Like, if you like a beat, you're just going to have it on your phone. You can't even record to it.
There it is. So tell me how you got with Meek Mill, man.
With Meek was through Cash and Bucks. So I was just around him in the early days of my career.
Okay.
And when I would hang out with him, it was funny because I produced back-to-back. And I don't know if he knew that.
Talk your shit.
I don't know if he knew that. So it was kind of like, for me, I'll be like chilling with him, like, yeah, we're cool and everything. But does he know that I made that beat?
Wow. Wait, so let's take that. So you made the beat that almost ruined his career.
Yeah, but it's not like we sent it out like, oh, this is going to be for that.
So you didn't know.
We were just making beats, and 3 days later,
you heard Drake.
Back-to-back came out. I'm like, yo, wait, that's my chords that I played. You know what I mean? Like, I played the melody for it. And I was like, oh, shit. And then right soon after that, I started taking off as an artist. Yeah. And Meek Mill started posting his pictures with my lyrics as his caption.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, oh shit. And I'm from Toronto, and like, you know, we support Drake and everything, and I'm just a fan. I don't know either of these guys at this time.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, you know, and then when I came around, the first person I was really around was Meek.
Right.
So it's kind of like confused. You're like, yo.
Wow, so you produced back to back but you were around Meek before.
And he showed me the most love in the beginning, like out of everybody. Like that's why I said that in the song. He's the first to show me love. He started posting captions. He posted a whole video on his page of me, of my song, and he's rapping in the car to my lyrics.
Wow.
To Good For It. I was like, it was crazy.
So did you ever have the conversation with Meek like, yo, I'm the one that bodied you?
I don't think so, but I feel like maybe like someone around me did, and like he obviously knows what it is. He's a sensible guy. Yeah. So.
And that's kind of dope too. Now, I mean, they got hits together now, man. I love when the world can come together and you can have your differences, but settle it like men, settle it like real kings, and operate on that whole thing. So tell me a little bit about Tap, man. It's already going crazy. It's the new single with you and Meek.
Mm-hmm. Well, speaking of showing me love, it's like 2 days until I had to hand in the album.
Yeah.
And him and Cash were on the phone, and Cash was like, oh, by the way, we're about to hand in Nav's album. And he's like, you got anything for me? And he's like, yeah. And he sent like his whole catalog that he's working on.
Wow.
Yeah, which was like cool. And then Cash is good at A&Ring, so Cash was like, I think this song would be the best because he didn't want to confuse me. And then right when he played it, like first 5 seconds of his verse, I just said stop it, and I just went straight in the booth.
Yeah, and then y'all shot the video in Miami?
Yep.
Oh, so that's always wet. That's always crazy.
The video shot itself.
Facts. So this is what I always want to know, because, I mean, being an artist myself, it's certain people you rock with, and whether it's a management thing or whatever, like, some people, like, take months, years to jump on a record with you. Some people do it right away. And everybody always say, oh, I got to catch a vibe. Or what is that? Is it because someone's hot at the moment? So that's why it's easier to kind of put a project or songs together? Or is it really cats who just really fuck with each other? Because sometimes I even see when you're friends with somebody, like I'm a friend with like everybody, and I feel like it takes longer for me to get joints done with my friends than it does with the motherfuckers who just like, I don't even know this dude, but he jumped on the record real quick, or I sent out a text or something and we worked immediately, opposed to somebody I know, like E40, or anybody, people that like, cats I really rock with, it takes forever. And that's why I even say, like, I remember probably, I always show love, like, Migos back in the day, before they were the Migos, but those dudes always been solid. Like, anytime they needed me, I needed them, show up, just when they was doing, like, club appearances, I go check them out, they pull up to Wildin' Out, and it was always love. And still to this day, if I wanted Quavo on the record, I call, and he'll jump on it immediately.
100%.
They just solid like that. But then it's some guys, and there's no love lost, it's guys I love, like, close friends. Like I said, like, E40 is probably one of my closest friends. I look up to him, a mentor. To get a 40 verse takes forever. Like, to get a Yo Gotti verse, all of these people I love, like, what is that?
You name me some guys that are a little bit older, so it might be that thing.
Just the old heads take longer to get the records done.
But the Migos,
you might be
right.
on to something.
Yeah.
Because I think the work ethic of the younger kids, they always got their laptop there.
Like I said, I've heard that Offset and Quavo, they record themselves.
Yeah, they do.
They punch and everything by themselves. So that's same with Thug. Like, it's just a new wave, bro.
That's what it is. The kids are quicker. I say kids, the younger artists are quicker to get it popping. Where like everybody else, the older cast, the OGs, got to catch a vibe. I'm gonna go to the studio next Thursday.
Studio.
Next Thursday. Like, we got music to make, man. But love to everybody. I'm just saying, like, my guys, I always feel like sometimes my friends, it takes longer to get them. So even like with Weekend or Belly and stuff, are you guys just like, yo, I'm gonna send you something, let's jump back on? Like, how does that work?
We're pretty quick with each other. I mean, when it's crunch time, we're all kind of like, in our own world, and
everybody's busy.
Like, we're all kind of like, it's like Belly wanted me on Maintain, and I wanted to be on that song since I ever heard, like, at a party at his house. Yeah. But like, Cash still had to be on my back to be like, yo, we're about to hand it in, bro. Like, do it right now. It's not like I didn't want to do it. I'd love to be on the song. Yeah. We're just we be burnt out, bro.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like, too, like, I got to get to the studio and like do like 3 or 4 things now, because it's like, one, you have a list of joints you got to do. There's only so much time. You focus on the records that you got to get done. So you're like, all right, I'm going to get to it. I'm going to do it. And then because the creative effort that you got to do to make sure that the verse is hot. So I get it. But I also know, like, yo, if you got a hot joint or you're on fire at the moment, that one kind of gets to the front of the line before, because I've been on both sides of it. I've been on this cold where, like, come on, man, please, I need a record. And when you got a hot record, people start calling you.
That's a fact.
Do you experience that?
Right now, 100%.
Like, everybody wants you on the record.
Yeah, but it's cool, though.
How does it work to get a feature from Nav? Like, how do you prioritize?
It has to be organic. Like, I'm not going to do a feature with a artists, like just it's very rare I'll do a feature with an artist that I never met.
Wow. So if you've never met them, no matter who they manager, A&R is, you got to vibe with them
unless like
first.
the bag is ridiculous, you know? But like
I've heard about those bags. You get those businessmen and them entrepreneurs who got daughters that were like, hey man, my daughter's a singer. I got $300,000 for you. I'm on it.
But always the first thing I put, like the thing I put first always is the song, the music. If the music ain't right,
True
I don't
artistry.
care about anything. You know.
That's what's up, man. Well, this has been a great close conversation with Nav, but I can't let you go that easy. You see I'm sitting here in a bulletproof vest. I get gangster. We shoot shots. I got to put you into the firing squad right now. Now, it's just as random questions. I need you to answer them in a rapid-fire method. Don't even think about it. Whatever comes to your mind first, just say it and get to it. You ready?
Yeah.
All right, here we go in the firing squad. Loved or feared?
Feared.
Really? Oh, you a gangster. All right. Speaking of fears, what's your biggest fear?
Biggest fear. I don't like to say.
You don't put it into the universe.
No, exactly.
Absolutely. All right, I got you. I respect that. One thing the world doesn't know about you.
I don't know.
You gotta know something.
These fans
we learned a lot so far.
Fans are creepy. I don't know.
It's like they always in your business.
I don't know. Shit, I used to have to share a room with my sister growing up.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah,
get in touch with
Small
your
house.
sensitive eye.
Small house, man.
They understood. Favorite cuss word?
Bitch. But not in
It
like
seemed
you know.
was going fuck and just bitch.
Not in a like derogatory way or you know.
Yeah, nah.
Like, I be calling my male friends, like shut up, bitch.
There's some authority in the word. I understand. Best advice you've ever gotten?
Save your money.
Worst advice you've ever gotten?
Spend your money.
Favorite movie of all time?
Vanilla Sky.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I really like that movie.
That's some random shit.
I don't know. I was talking about
you
it
had
last
to share a room
night.
with your sister, and that's what y'all would watch.
No, I'm a movie guy. I watch a lot of movies, but I like movies where it's good writing. I like good writing and stuff. You know.
Facts. Nah. That says a lot. Biggest guilty pleasure.
Eating like junk food, candy.
I'm the same way. Childhood celebrity crush.
Oh my God. Christina Aguilera.
Really? You wanted the genie in the bottle?
Yes.
She was bad back then.
And
she's still bad, but I mean, like back then, she was on fire.
There's a little list of those ones.
Yeah,
I could keep going.
That whole squad, right? Most prized possession.
My Lambo truck.
Oh, okay.
And I can't wait to get it back. It's been in the shop forever.
What happened?
Hit the bumper.
Oh,
on a cone in the middle of the highway, though. It wasn't my fault. There was a cone in the middle of the highway.
Yeah,
I shouldn't have been
sure
there.
It wasn't your fault, Nav.
Whatever.
I've been there too. I remember I was probably one of my first joints. I got a Range Rover the first time, and I was driving back from the studio later. And I'm lying. I was driving back from this girl's house. I was supposed to be at the studio. Fell asleep at the
drunk.
wheel. Now, I don't drink, but I was so tired. Fell asleep.
That's crazy.
Totaled that shit. So I feel your pain. It was my prized possession at the time. Best word that describes you?
Smart.
Talk your shit. All right. I feel you. Speaking of smart, if you wrote a book about your life, what would the title be?
Nav.
It's just simple as that.
Yeah.
3 things on a deserted island. What would you take?
Can a studio be one thing?
Yeah, facts.
Studio, food, and a girl.
Just one?
Yes, because I can only have 3, right? 3 things.
Right. I would say like a plethora of like a bunch, a concubine.
That's one thing
to fill up the studio.
I guess so, yeah.
All right, so I think
to fill up the studio. You old school, man.
Underrated artist right now.
Lil Keed.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Facts. All right. Favorite restaurant?
Tao.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Favorite artist of all time?
Nas.
Really?
Yeah. That was the first artist I ever listened to, hip-hop wise.
There it is, man. We learned a lot about you. This has been a close conversation with my man, Nav. Appreciate you, OG.
Appreciate it, man.
All right.